Hello, ladies. Welcome. We are just about to start. I think because it's a Sunday, we're going to give it a little bit of time for people to just log in, get out of bed, or at least log in from bed, wherever you are. But I'm very excited to facilitate this workshop today. It's something that I've been working on for a bit. And I hope it's going to go well. And most importantly, I hope you will find value from it. So yeah, as I said, let's just give it a little bit of time. I'm literally going to start at exactly 12:05 because the whole purpose of this workshop is also teaching us how to be on time and how to manage our time better. So if you're late, you're late. We're not waiting for you. We're going to keep going. But I can see people in the waiting room, which is good. And I also put a registration link. So wherever you are, get comfortable. This is going to be an interactive session. So please have a book. If you are tech savvy, have your Google Docs or your Word document open already so that you will be taking notes, and that is how you're going to get the most value out of today. Greetings, greetings. Welcome everybody. Sophie. It's exactly 12:05. We will kickstart the session. Okay, so let's start interacting a bit with the people who are already in here. I want you to introduce yourself in the coolest way possible. I want you to use the chat button and introduce yourself in the coolest way possible. What that means is, if you didn't have your career, probably as a parent, whatever, how would you introduce yourself? How would you like to be known? Please type in the chat box below. I want to hear from you. I want to start knowing you. I can see Chuela's here, Sophie, Tabiseng, Lesejo, Mangoba, Jabulile. So use the chat button and introduce yourself. Nice, they're coming in. Chuela, wow. Can everybody see the messages? So Chuela just responded and said she is Chuela Ngube and she eats strategy for breakfast. What an introduction. Hi, Chuela, nice to meet you. Okay, guys, it's 12:05, so we are officially kickstarting the session. I'd like to welcome you to today's workshop. My name is Oresia Nyawade Ngube, but I like to go by Coach H. That's probably how a lot of you know me by. And as I said earlier, this is a very exciting workshop that I'm going to be facilitating for the next 2 hours. So I'm very honored that you are taking out 2 hours of your time on a Sunday to spend it with me. But I want to promise you that it's going to be the best 2 hours you have spent and invested in yourself, especially because it is the end of the month. It's the last Sunday of January. You made it. Round of applause to yourself. And the other thing that happens at this time of the year is that a lot of people set goals for their lives. They have resolutions. A lot of you have maybe gone for vision board parties or created vision boards. And that is essentially the inspiration behind today's workshop. To say that, okay, I have a vision of where I want to go, but how am I going to take time to make sure I am showing up for myself and putting in the work so that I can get closer and closer to making that vision come to life. So that's the work we're going to be doing today. It's going to be interactive. I'll put you in groups towards the end. So look at it as a networking opportunity as well. And then also just find out how we can continue staying in touch as a community. So hi, Juliet. Curiosity is my middle name. You see, I like those intros that are just not basic. Nice to meet you. Mangoba Ringane, he builds digital experiences for humans. So if you're wondering what's happening in the chat box right now, we're doing a little bit of an intro session. So use it, type out something that, how would you like to introduce yourself? If it wasn't just, oh, hi, my name is, and I'm a mom, something cool, something new that even if you don't believe it yet, you can start to claim it as part of your identity. So type in the chat box. And then after that, we're going to do a little bit of work to to understand what industries you guys are in. I have read all your responses if you registered through the form. I've been checking on your discipline ratings. I've been checking on the type of stuff that you have done in your life and you're excited about because you showed up for yourself. And the reason why I asked those questions is because I want us to know that we are not complete failures. Sometimes, or rather most times, it's lack of motivation. And you haven't taken time to build that skill of consistency, of discipline, which we will be talking about a lot more. Remember, I said that have your book, have your notes ready. Hi, Sia, nice to meet you, an author, and she's claiming it. Okay. Let's go. I'll be sharing my screen. There's a presentation that I'll use. Take it easy, good vibes only. Good vibes only. I'm also streaming on Facebook. So if you are on Facebook, hello and welcome. This is my first time using this platform. But okay. I need you guys to give me a little bit of an indication if you can see my screen, maybe a thumbs up on, use the reaction button on your Zoom, just to say thumbs up, you can see the screen. You can see what I'm sharing. Nice one, Mamoba. Thank you for the feedback. Official welcome. 10 minutes past 12. Let's go. This masterclass workshop is called Master Planning for Future Success. It's a new take on vision boards, as I already mentioned, because I think a lot of our work is focused on, a lot of the work we do when we are planning or dreaming is focused on the end result, but not necessarily the work that it takes to get to the end result. And that is what we will be looking at today. As I said, my name is Oresia Nyawadengube. Some of my hobbies, if you are getting to know me, and I like the people who are using the chat button so far, is yoga, hiking, and my favorite, which is sleeping. I like to take naps and rest. I really love it when I'm not awake because I have the most amazing dreams. And my expertise is around accountability, discipline, and consistency. These are things that I struggle with as well. And I've taken time to figure out how can I make these characters be a part of my lifestyle and see how they can help me get closer and closer to where it is that I'm trying to be in life. And at the same time, how can I share these things that I have been working on with people, thus Coach H. A little bit about my background. I have an MBA in strategy and innovation from the Wits University. I am a certified leadership coach also from the Wits University and a digital strategist. That is one of the main tasks and goals that I work on. Okay, so if you have your books and your notebooks or your paperwork ready, I want us to start. And the first part of our workshop today is understanding the big picture. What does the big picture mean? Imagine for a second you had no restrictions and no limitations in the entire world. What would that look like? What would be your dreams? And I want you to write that down. I want you to write it down on your book or your page. What would that look like? And when I say no restrictions, right? Where do you envision yourself to be if there were no limitations? Like, don't be afraid to dream big. Let it scare you. The reason we're starting with understanding the big picture is because I have come to find that, especially as Africans, based on our history, our social fabric, and basically our family structures, sometimes dreaming big is just so difficult to even think. I've found myself doing that where I kind of start making excuses for my dreams. I say that I want to be a millionaire or this big person, then I'm like, do I even know how to count to 1,000,000? And then I start saying, maybe let me bring it down to, I just want a steady job or I just want a steady income. But if you can't dream, then you're not going to be able to know what you need to do to get to where it is that you're trying to be. So think of it, no limitations, right? No social limitations. Don't say, oh, my husband, my wife, my kids. Don't think of money, my job, where will I find the money? Don't think of how you're feeling. Are you ready? Are you confident enough? Do you have enough prayers or approval of people? Silence all of those things. Your emotions, oh, I'm not emotionally stable, I still need this. Forget about all those excuses and write down what it is you think you'll be. Dream it. It don't have to be limited to South Africa. You don't have to be limited to the country that you currently are in. You don't have to be limited to the knowledge that you have. Just say that if I really had an open oyster, what is it that I would do? Where do I envision myself to be? If you're having a hard time answering this part of the question, remember when you were a little bit younger and somebody was asking you, what do you want to do when you grow up? Tap into that. When you just said, oh, I want to be a lawyer because being a lawyer is cool, or, oh, I wanted to be a policewoman. I wanted to be a cop. So whatever it is, think about it, write it down. Even if it's more than 2 or 3 things, write all of them down. Jabulile Masuku, how you doing? I'm living my most authentic life with unhindered passion and courage, claiming it. So excited to be here. Welcome, Jabulile. And that's the energy we're welcoming today. Mtabiseng, how are you doing? She makes sure people live well, eat well, and cook well. All about the vibes. I'm in it. If you're wondering what's happening on the chat, people were introducing themselves. I hope you've taken enough time to write down those goals. I want you to write at least 4 to 5 things, because I know these things are in your heart. These desires, what I'm talking about, this vision, write it down. And what you write right now is going to set the tone for the whole workshop. What you write right now is going to set the tone for the whole workshop. Okay, if you feel like you are done, please use the reaction button to put a thumbs up so that I know where we're at. feel like you've written it, no rush. I'm gonna give you a few minutes. Nice one, Juliet. Use the reaction button. If you are just joining us, we are currently working on this question and envisioning the big picture. So imagine you had no restrictions, no limitations. Money isn't an option. Where you're at emotionally, your body size, your gender, nothing, none of those things are a restriction in your life. What do you envision yourself to be? Where would you want to be? What is this ideal future that you would have if all those excuses were not on the table? So that's what we're currently doing. Please write it down. And once you're done, use the reaction buttons to use a thumbs up so that I can know how we'll move on to the next. To the next item.
Hi, Coach H. Hi, Coach H.
Hi, Chuala.
What reaction button should we use to show that we're completed?
Thumbs up. Thumbs
Okay.
up. Once you're done, please use the thumbs up reaction button so that I can know how we'll move on to the next. I can see Chuala's done, Jabulila is done. No pressure, no rush. We have like 2 more minutes, so just write it down. As I said, this will help us go into the next stage. The first time I did this exercise, it scared me so much because I did not understand. It started like bringing out these emotions in me, like, wow, you really don't know how to dream big. You have so many excuses about what it is that you want to do. But at the end of the exercise, I was so shocked and happy with what I had written down because I was like, yes, girl, dream. What is it that you want to do? Because dreaming is free. Nobody is stopping you from that. You don't have to pay for that. Dreaming is free. I'm going to be pacing us with this workshop. So I am giving you time to write, but I'm also going to go on to the second part of it. So don't worry if you're just coming in. Start with writing the big picture. That same document you're using is what is going to carry you through the rest of the workshop. Okay. So part 2, breaking it down. You see that nice big picture you have? Breaking it down. One of my favorite quotes that keeps me going is that nobody is too busy. It's just a matter of priorities. And I'm sure you've heard that in your life before. Maybe even when you're dating and you feel like this person doesn't make time to call you or text you, that response that they're too busy, you're just not a priority in their life right now. I'm so sorry to be the bearer of this bad news, but you do make time for the things that are important to you. And you will know that when you do some of the exercise that we'll be working on today, and you'll find out that, okay, I may say I don't have time, but I have time to drink a cup of coffee and make a cup of coffee because I know that without this cup of coffee, I am not going to make it through the day. So no matter how busy I am, I'll take 2 minutes out of my day, go and make this cup of coffee because I know I need it. No matter how busy I am, I know I have to brush my teeth before I face people. I am not going to go out into the world without brushing my teeth. Why? Because the consequences of that, well, you know what the consequences are. So nobody is too busy. It's usually just a matter of priorities. So my question for you at this point in time is, realistically speaking, which of the items that you have written in the first activity of the big picture are you able to start with? So in the first activity, I said, it doesn't matter what type of money you have, what type of skills, what type of money support you have. But here, I want you to consider that. Say right now, how much time do I have in my life? Right now, how much money do I have in my life? What kind of support, what kind of people do I have? Do I have a babysitter or somebody who can take care of the kids while I'm doing something for a little bit of time? Do I have a partner or a friend or a mother who's able to encourage me and maybe help me with something because they have a skill that I'm missing? Do I have a skill that is actually so useful to me? So these are the questions I want you to have in the back of your mind when you're going through your list under the big picture, to say, realistically speaking, which of these am I able to start with? So if you've just joined us, we have just finished the first part of the exercise, which is defining what are our huge dreams, what are our huge goals. No timeline, it can be in 5 years, 10 years, in 2 weeks. What are those? No restrictions. You have all the money, you have all the support, you have all the skills and everything. There's nothing stopping you. And now we're on part 2, where we're breaking down those goals and prioritizing them. So for example, if you had 5 or 6 items from the first activity, look at those items carefully and think about the resources that you currently have at your disposal today. So what type of support do you have? Which skills do you have? Even if they're basic, extra advanced, whatever. How much money do you have? Even if there's no money, what do you have right now that can help you prioritize the dreams that you had in the first section? So you can either put a little star on it to prioritize based on what you have, start thinking. So which of these can you handle with your current resources? Which one means the most to you? Those are some of the questions that you can ask to help you. Hi, Sophie. Sophie is a solid builder. Nice to meet you, Sophie. I think Sophie is actually one of the fitness accountability members. So nice to see you here, Sophie. Hello, Amy. Hi, Amy. Amy is a marketing maven and a tech-first adopter and a lover. Guys, these people who adopt tech first, I'm super courageous. I look up to you. Amy is also one of the first people that I spoke to when I first launched my coaching business. So I'm very happy to see you here, Amy, today. Guys, please use the thumbs reaction button to let me know if we're going well, if everything is making sense. If you think this is a waste of time, it isn't. Why? Because really think about how often do you get to think about these things? How often do you get to pause and write these things down? The reason I named this workshop a new take on vision boards is because when I first hosted my first vision board workshop back in 2020, February, right before the pandemic started in Nairobi, a lot of the concepts around vision boards include arts and crafts. And that's great and everything, and manifestation, and you can put up this beautiful looking board of all the things that you desire. But what I found is that the most important thing is, okay, where does the action start? How do I start taking small steps to help me get to where this vision that is in my heart come to a reality? So that is the inspiration behind this workshop. So I see Mangoba is done. Please remember to use the reaction buttons when you feel the circle's done as well. Ntabi Singh, Amy, nice one. Nice one. Everything is tied into together. So don't panic. Don't think you are being left behind. We are here together, and I'll try my best to keep you on time. Okay, now, before we continue, this is a different type of exercise. And if you watched any of the ads that I was recording to promote this workshop, one of the things that I promised on those ads is that I will help you find little pockets of time in your day to do the things that really matter to you. As I said, one of my passions and topics is around accountability, consistency, and discipline. And so what we find is how we use our day is going to determine how our week will go, our month, and our year. So if you have time to make breakfast today, then you know that breakfast is going to fuel you enough to do whatever you need to do until your next meal. But if you don't, and you continue doing that, that's when you hear people saying, I don't have time to eat breakfast. Then you wonder, why is your productivity not so great? Okay, cool. So on the reality check exercise, we all know that a goal without a plan is only a dream. And now we went from the big picture. We broke it down based on the resources that we currently have at hand right now. And I want us to be able to start tracking how much time do we really have on our hands. Now you're here, you're back to today. So on your piece of paper or on your digital document, I want you to start. I'm going to guide us through some questions, and I want you to write down some answers. So I want to do some sort of visualization exercise. How do you currently spend your time? Think of yourself from the time you wake up. Let us just look at the week from Monday to Friday. Excuse the weekend. If some of you don't know, one of the biggest things that I'm passionate about is about a sustainable work-life balance. So at no point in this workshop will I say that there's no room for rest and there's no room for relaxing. I think the more you rest and the more you relax, the more productive you are. So look at your Monday to Friday. What time do you wake up? What time do you wake up? Just take a little tour of your life. Look at yourself. Imagine you're peeping through the window and somebody is looking into your life. How do you live your life? What time do you wake up? And when you wake up, what is the first thing that you do? Some of us are famous for reaching for our phones. I know I'm a culprit of that sometimes. But when you reach for your phone, what is the first app you open? Remember, I am not your mom. I'm not coming to tell you you're living your life wrong. I don't want to do that to you. I just want you to use this workshop and this time to be super duper honest with yourself. What do you do? And when you open your phone, how long do you spend on it? If you don't know, that's okay, but you can guess and start writing all those things down. Don't be scared. I don't have access to your document. I don't know what you are writing on there. So this is something that's so private to you. When you get up, what do you do? What is the first thing that you do? Do you pick up your phone? Do you check your emails? Do you check your Instagram, your social media? How long are you on there? How are you feeling when you wake up after you've checked your phone? Are you feeling excited to conquer your day? Are you feeling like you've seen another post of somebody bragging about the brand new thing that they've done or accomplished? Has it given you anxiety? Are you now wondering why you have to go do this thing that you have to do when you could be riding on a first class flight? Whatever. Think about it. What time do you shower? Are you exercising? Have you made plans for breakfast? Have you made plans for breakfast? Some of the other things that people are doing in the morning, some people are reading the paper. Someone to watch TV, that's okay. Someone to take some time to pray. Maybe that's the first thing you did, that's okay. Meditate, exercise, whatever it is. As I said, when I wake up, my ideal would be to take a walk. Why? Because it opens up my mind. But getting out of bed is so difficult. So sometimes I'm a victim of checking my phone. And as an accountability coach, when 30 minutes are over, because I'm an early bird, I'm like, crap, I could have spent those 30 minutes differently. So how long is this shower that you're taking? It sounds like such a pedantic exercise, but it's the only time you're doing a proper audit of your day. Do you have kids? Do they need to be prepped? If you're just joining us, we started with defining the big, big picture. To say, what are your dreams if you had zero limitations? You had all the money in the world, it wasn't an option. You had all the support, all the skills, everything was working for you. What are your dreams? Write them down. So that's where we're at. And then after that, from those dreams that you've written, break it down to say, what are your current resources? So what's the money that you have right now, the emotional support or strength? What do you currently have? What is the most important to you amongst the big dreams that you've written? And finally, we are at a reality check visualization exercise to see, how are you using your time? How are you spending your time? And are you being super, super honest with yourself? I am not looking at your document, but be honest with yourself. Are you working from home? Or do you have to get to work? What time do you have to get to work? Do you consider traffic? What time did you leave? What did you do before you left? As I said, I'll guide you through questions, but these are the things I really want you to consider when you are performing this exercise. Look at every single second, it counts. Do you make a call to somebody? How long did that call take? How about lunchtime? Did you maybe pack a lunch? Did you have a plan of where you are going to eat? Do you eat during lunch? Do you know what you're going to eat? We're getting to the age where we have to be conscious about what we are putting in our body. Is there a requirement? Is there a certain dietary requirement that is needed for us to continue being healthy? Are there vitamins we have to take? Think of all these things, like really, really take time to look at how you're living your life and be honest with yourself. There is no wrong answer. There's no right answer. The goal of this exercise is to really see how you spend your time and are you using it in the way that works for you based on the things that you would like to do in your life. How's your productivity and energy levels at around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock? Are you still as excited and energetic as you were in the morning? Or have you woken up now at 1 or 2 o'clock because you were super tired in the morning and the coffee hadn't checked in? Which one are you? Because we're literally going hour by hour. How's your day changing? What new exercise are you doing? Are you working on the same thing for hours and not making progress? Or have you been able to do 1 or 2 or 3 tasks? How often are you checking your phone? How many pickups? I know the iPhone has a nice little thing that says how many times you pick up your phone. Give you guys a few minutes to just think about your day, absorb, and really write down how you're spending your time. Monday to Friday. Did you have any other plans during the day? Do you need to cancel them? Do you need to reschedule them? Why? What else has come up? If you maybe didn't get time to work out in the morning, do you usually maybe prefer the evening? What is home time? Is there a home time? Are we working till like 11? Another thing that I see that happens here is, for example, I know my partner likes to watch a specific show at 6:30. No matter what they're doing, they will make time to show up and watch that show. Is there a show you need to watch? A friend you need to call? What time did you make dinner? Are you ordering it? What time is bedtime? Is there a bedtime? Do we have trouble falling asleep? Do we sometimes fall asleep on the couch? What impact does that have on your body? We're doing really, really good with time. So I'll give you 3 more minutes to just reflect and visualize your day. As I said, be super and brutally honest with yourself. Be super and brutally honest with yourself. Remember to use the reaction buttons to let me know if you are ready. I am looking. So one of the biggest goals that I had this year for myself is to start eating my food as my medicine. Why? Because I want to be able to grow my hair back. I have a little bit of joint complications. And so that's a really big goal for me. How can I change or adapt the food that I eat so that it's healthy for me? Okay, I'm seeing thumbs up coming in. Give you 1 more minute. And in terms of the big picture, I'm envisioning myself with super duper healthy joints and a head full of thick, healthy hair. That's my big, big picture dream. If I had zero doubt that was stopping me from dreaming about that. So your goal can be personal to you, can be professional, spiritual, whatever it is, this is for you. All right, guys, let's do a little bit of an audio check-in. Does anyone want to share for 30 seconds what the visualization, any insights they've gotten from the reality check? Unmute your mic. How does it feel to look at your day on paper and think about your day? If you guys need more time, sorry, please let me know in the chat. Joella?
Could you ask that question again, please?
How has it felt looking at your day, the visualization exercise? How does it feel to look at your day on paper? What kind of insights have you picked up?
Well, I realized that I spend quite a lot of time on social media. I don't know if it's a coping mechanism or what, but I think I almost dedicate in the morning almost 30 to 40 minutes going through every social media app. And then so when I looked actually at my thing that tells you how much time I spent on social media in a day, last week I averaged 9 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank
Which
you.
obviously could be spent elsewhere, I would assume.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Can anybody else relate? Unmute your mic or use your hand raiser. This is the exact goal of this exercise. It's not to shame anyone. It doesn't matter how you are currently living your life, that's fine. But remember, our goal is to find little pockets of time to do the things that we really want to achieve in terms of our dreams and goals. So what are some of the insights that you're picking up? Chuela has just shared social media. She's able to pick up a number because I think depending on the type of phone you have, it actually does monitor how much time you're spending on social media. Good amount of my work is on there, so sometimes I want to pretend that I'm working. But that is just a reality check. Okay, guys, for us to be able to continue, there's so much more stuff I want us to do. So don't worry, you'll continue writing and visualizing. I want us to go to the next activity and pick things up a bit. It has been a very reflective hour where I've done most of just the guiding with my voice. But as I said, this is such a useful and valuable activity to perform in your life as often as you can, maybe every 3 months, to just say, let me check in. Where am I at? How am I spending my time? What are my goals? Can I track them? Cool. So I put this specific slide here to say I can do anything, because what happens is typically when you go through an exercise in the version that I just guided us through, when you start with the big picture, get super excited. You might be a bit apprehensive, but with time, as you start writing these goals that just seem like almost unattainable, then you can get excited and say, oh my God, how lovely would it be if that was my reality? And then coming down to the crux of things is to say, how can I break this thing down? Because yes, that was a dream, but how do I start to marry my dream to my reality? To say, what are the resources that I currently have? The reason this is so important to me is because I feel like as a society, sometimes we either become entitled to the universe around us. We feel that somehow things have to work out for us because we have imagined them in our brain. But one of the goals of this workshop today is to say that it's cool. Nobody is stopping your imagination. Nobody is stopping where it is that you want to go. But how accountable are you to that dream? What are you doing to make sure that you can get closer and closer to this thing that you want to do? And so I used to think, oh, somebody needs to hook me up. People need to see I'm great, I'm lovely, I'm smart, I'm beautiful, I'm this, I'm that. And I almost felt like the world owed me all the things that I wanted to do. But turns out that even the most successful people, no matter what resources they had at hand, is that they had to put in the work. And putting in the work requires consistency. And it requires you to be very honest with where you're at, and thus the reality check and exercise we just did. And so now I want us to really start seeing how we can break down the goals. So when you come to reality, reality sometimes is depressing, let's be honest, right? Because you're going to be like, hey man, for real, maybe as Chela shared, she said, I'm spending too much time on social media, but I actually don't know how to change that habit and use it better. Or, I've been sleeping a lot, or I've been whatever it is you've been doing. Work is so demanding, like my boss is always on my neck, whatever it is. But how can we marry the two? And honestly, it's very, very simple. It comes with setting goals and targets. Sounds like we've just walked into a boardroom and a business meeting, but that is how serious you have to take your life, especially if you want to take it up to that next level and see those dreams come to life. So setting goals and targets. When I sent out the questionnaire to register for this workshop, I asked you guys a specific question. What is one thing that you have done in your life that you are so proud of? And I chose that question because I want you to know that you are more than capable of doing anything that you put your mind to. If there are things in your life that you have succeeded at that have brought you this far in your life, most of the people I work with are high achievers, high performers. I know some of you in the workshop today, which means that if there is any type of task that is in front of you and you have put your mind to it, there's no way you're going to fail. So do not let your reality scare you. You are the type of person who has ever showed up for yourself. You have gotten things done. You have succeeded. So this character, it's in you. It's in your blood. It's in your body. It's not something that you have to go and search for somewhere else. But a goal without a plan is only a dream. So when you look at everything that you've been writing down, all the goals that you had based on the stuff that you had, this is my favorite part of the exercise because I am starting to do my job of keeping you accountable. So my question to you is this: what is the first and easiest milestone you can achieve? What is the first and easiest milestone that you can achieve? Yeah. So pick one goal. Remember, I was first telling you about my eating food as a medicine. That's my first goal: how to grow my hair back and improve my joint health. So just pick one. You went from maybe 5 or 6, you broke it down, it came down to 3 after prioritizing maybe. Now out of those 3 or 2, pick one. Pick one. what's the first milestone? A milestone is what's the first thing that I can do to get me closer and closer to this thing. So for example, Coach H, the first thing that I will do, that I did, that I have to do, and I wrote this down, I did this exercise, so I'll just guide you with what I'm doing, and I want you to do the same on your side, is to research what foods that I need. I can't say I want to eat healthy. I don't even know what foods those are. I can't say I want to eat food that is good for my hair or whatever. I don't even know what those things are. And what do I have? I have a phone, I have internet, right? I have a brain. And so the first and easiest milestone for me is to research and say, what is it that I actually need? What is it that I actually need? And then after that, I take those things and I write those different ingredients on my phone. Because guess what? Everything I've been eating so far, and if I have to add new food items, I don't know, chia seeds and all these things, I have to write them down on my phone so that the next time I'm at the store, I'll be like, I'm not confused, because my nature would be to go for the same things that I've always shopped for. And doing the same things and expecting different results is, please type it down. I'm not even going to finish that sentence. I think you guys know the answer. So while we're looking at the first and easiest milestone, think about it. One goal, what's your first milestone? And how long will it take for you to accomplish and reach that first milestone? The thing with this workshop and the things that I'm talking about is that if you heard them anywhere else on any other day, there's such common sense concepts. I'm not teaching you anything new, but we never take time to do these things for ourselves. As I said, we have to take our lives as serious as a board meeting, as a business, where check in with your business and say, how are we doing with our goals? When I want to get my hair done, how far have I gotten? Right? Look back at your reality. Where do you have extra time to perform this first milestone, to get into this first milestone? In that time, I don't want you to work yourself to a pulp. Where are you going to rest? What time are you going to work? Right? So go out. And what does implementation look like for me? After I've bought my groceries, right? What recipes am I going to research and try out with the new ingredients? Because I can go and research online. I can say I want healthy hair. I can even go and buy the items and then I don't use them. They're just dead ingredients in my pantry. So what is the implementation for me? I have to think through every single small step, because this is not something that's in my nature. So for you, look at the goal that you have, that you've chosen. Think of the next step. I also have to use the list of things that I've found as a guide when I'm ordering out. So for me, I'm protecting myself in a 360 manner. You can't just be linear when you're thinking. You need to take your life seriously and start thinking, where do I fall off? So what's an easy goal that I can make with the resources I have? What's the first milestone? What is the first milestone? So a little bit after this, I want us to do a little bit more interaction. Your mics will no longer be on mute. I want us to be able to talk. And I said there will be, oh no. Oh no. Okay, no worries, Amy, got your message. Thank you for coming through. And yes, this session is being recorded, be able to save it and people will be able to access it. Okay, so why I want us to be able to interact. I know there's been a lot of writing, but don't worry. I want someone to please, somebody other than Chiwella, to please share one goal, one thing they've written. You don't have to make it so detailed if it's something a bit private, but share it in a way that we can see how you've broken down your plans. It's not to judge you, it's to learn from you, because there's somebody else in the room who might learn from what it is that you've written down and consider it, and vice versa. So who would like to go first? Ladies and gents, do not leave Coach H talking to herself. One goal, one goal. How have you broken it down? Okay, who's raising their hand? Magdalene, the mic is yours. Please unmute and share. Hello.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm well. How are you?
I'm okay.
Can
you share with us one of your goals and how you've broken it down?
I want to learn more about public speaking. So this is how I broke it down. I need to do my research, a lot of research. Then this involves a lot of reading from the public speakers who have made it out there.
Yeah.
I also need to register myself for, it's either public speaking course or go for Toastmasters. Lovely. So that is how I've broken it down. So I have a lot to do.
Nice. Thank you so much for sharing. And all the best with your goal of public speaking. Guys, have you all heard what Magdalene just shared? If you have, I want to push it back to you as well and ask you, what else can she do? She's broken it down, she's done her research, she's looking for a public speaking course, and she's also thought about Toastmasters. Is there anything else that she can consider that can help her with this goal of perfecting her public speaking skills? Okay, Chiwella.
I think what could help her as well is to say, okay, if I'm going to read more, I should give myself a goal to say, in a week, I will read 2 articles, or 3 articles, so that at least I feel accomplished in my goals, to say, okay, Coach H or whoever, this week I read 2 articles that were written by DJ Spoo or Vusi Temboko. I don't know any of these people that you see yourself in, because then you're then able to see progress, to say, okay, in a month I've at least read 4 articles. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That is Magdalene, what do you think of that?
I've noted that, and I think I'm ready. I'm ready to do that.
Yes, I like what Chiela has said and how it's combining with your goal, because then sometimes we feel like we've made goals and we just say them. But the goal today is to say, how do we break it down? And that's the whole point of being accountable. What is one little thing that I can do? So if it's reading, right, there's 4 articles. And then back to the reality check, I would take it a step further and say, really, with all the time that I have in my life, is reading 4 really realistic for me? Maybe 1. And what does 1 look like? Maybe a journal is 20 pages long and I want to read 1 article a week. You're not going to, what happens is that we want to read, it's now Friday, we set this goal on Monday. Now you want to read the whole article on Friday. Then what happens? On Friday, you're just like, I can't finish reading this whole thing. And so the whole goal here today is, how do you break it down? Maybe you really, but what you have is maybe 15 minutes. If it's 1 article, you can read it for 15 minutes today. That is a step closer to where it is you're trying to go. 15 minutes on Tuesday, 15 minutes on Wednesday, 15 minutes on Thursday. Is that hour that you are saving on Friday, and you have broken it down to just 15 minutes a day. And that requires consistency. And it's easier to stay consistent to a goal that is only asking for 5, 10, or 15 minutes of your time than one that's asking for an hour. Because honestly, even for myself, an hour is just too much. It's too demanding. Our concentration span is also just like, after 20, 15 minutes, you're ready to maybe check your phone again, go do something else, it's over. But if you start to learn how to break down your goals into smaller pieces, let me tell you something, 15 minutes a day for 4 days a week, that is an hour, that is 1 article. If you repeat that for the next 3 weeks, in a month, you still managed to read 4 different journals, as Chiela had mentioned, and Magdalene is getting closer and closer to her goal without feeling pressure, without feeling like, oh my God, now my life has changed completely because now I want to adopt this public speaking thing and it's just taking over my life. So my big lesson today is to say, how do we break it down to the T? And something that's manageable for you with the time that you have, that is realistic for you with the time that you have in your life. I can't set that time for you. I'm using 15 minutes as an example. Maybe that time is 10 minutes, or it's 30, or it's an hour. But it's you, when you start taking ownership and knowing this is realistically how much time I have, this is what I'm going to do. The next step is for you to really just show up and stick to it. Cool. So the exercise that I just did with Chiela and Magdalene, I want to break you guys up into groups of 2. And what you will do in that group for the next 5 to 10 minutes is you will take that 1 goal that you had written down. You will share how you've broken it down for yourself to your partner in that group. And then what I want is the partner to also add, because what we have in life is blind spots. We don't always have the answers to everything. And that's why it's good to have a friend or a partner, an accountability partner, to help you see where these things and say, oh, okay, I hadn't really thought of that. So what I'm going to do at this time is break you up into groups, right? And then this is also a good time to meet this person if you don't know them. Meet them, say hello, be kind, be polite, and then go right into it. Share your goal, share how you're breaking it down. What are the steps you're going to take? Then switch and also give each other input. I will move in and out of the Zoom rooms. So I'll be coming in to hear you guys sharing, but participate. No one's going to bite. It's a Sunday, it's chill. You don't really have to have your video on if you don't want to. So I have taken away so many excuses from me. So just show up and have fun. Sounds good? Can I please get a thumbs up for people, from people to see that we are on the same page? Do people understand how to do the reaction? There's a reactions button. I see one from Chuela. I see one from Juliet, Lasaho. Okay, cool. Okay. Get into your rooms and I will come in.
Creating enough of a pipeline for myself so that by the time I become a principal, I've garnered enough houses, I've got enough stock, I've got enough of a network and clients that will enable me to successfully run my own agency.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
You actually took everything Coach H said to the T.
Okay, so do you wanna go, or do you want?
Hi, Bridget. Bridget. I'd assigned you to a room. Okay, good. Cool.
Okay. So do you want to start, Cynthia?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just and getting ready.
Oh, okay. So I'll go after you then. Horatia, is it just gonna be the two of us in the room, or is someone else joining, or is it just
two people? Just two people per room. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just jumping in and out.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Do you want me to share first, Cynthia, while you're getting ready, or should I wait for you?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So my milestone, as we were sort of looking through and taking like an audit on how our days are going, I realized that my day is actually not as structured as I would like to be, because I don't have a set
Ladies, why is it quiet in here? Hi, Juliet. Hi, Lasaho. What's happening?
No, so she dropped off a bit. She said she asked me to give her a minute. She just went on with her goal and she asked for a
Yes,
minute. She's
no.
in a cafe, so it's a bit loud. She was
Oh,
trying to get,
Yeah.
yeah. No, but we're good. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
No,
I am
I
back.
missed. I'm so sorry. I was late. I missed like the biggest part of it. But yeah, I'm catching on now. I figured we were setting goals and then we were prioritizing and now we're breaking down one goal.
correct. Juliet has been
Okay.
here, so I think she can catch you up. But basically, take one goal, break it down into what are the mini steps you're going to do that are manageable with the time that you currently have. Share it with her, and then she also shares the same, and you guys exchange what you might add to what someone has shared, and then we'll meet back in the main room. Sounds good, ladies?
Okay, no
Okay.
problem.
Cheers.
Cheers and bye.
Hi, I am back.
Oh, great. Welcome back. Welcome back. So I was saying, just to get clarity, you said your main goal is getting your financial freedom, right?
Oh, okay.
Mm.
I've done Toastmasters before, and it's a very, very
Okay.
good platform for public speaking. Yeah, it's very good.
Mm, mm.
It teaches you literally everything, the confidence, and you're saying the language as
Yeah, yeah.
well.
Oh,
Yeah, so
that's great.
we're supposed to mute now.
Is it? We'll
Hello,
go back.
ladies. I brought
Ah,
in Portia.
okay.
Portia just
Okay.
joined us, so
Okay.
I think you guys can keep going and then just get her acclimatized with what it is that she has to do. Portia, you need to share a goal with the two ladies, and you'll hear them speak, and then it will guide you on what you have to do as well. Cool. All right. Bye.
Bye.
The day. Oh, okay. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so if I can just stick to my routine, go to class, come back, and just revise whatever's been done on that day, then I'll be able to keep track and not be like bombarded with the whole syllabus when it's time for exams and trying to study and cram things. So that is my hope and my goal for this year. So yeah,
So
looking
are you
forward to it
studying
and
full
also
time?
scared. No, I'm not full time. I'm part time.
Oh, part
Yeah,
time.
so it's after work. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hectic. That's hectic. But I
Yeah.
think your plan for revising
Mm,
after the
after
class,
class.
that's always
Yeah.
better for sure to see. And how
Yeah.
many days are your classes?
So it'll be 3 days in a week. It'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay. And your job is not demanding.
It is, but I've done this before. Like I said, my first year I did it same way, part time while I was working. It is demanding, but it's not impossible. It requires dedication. And like I said, you can't leave it all for exam time. Then it just becomes impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah. So
Hey, ladies.
hi.
I just got Bridget. Bridget's just joined us, so maybe give her a little bit of time to share as well, because in about a
Okay.
minute we'll go back.
All right. No problem.
Okay.
Bridget, you can go ahead.
Well, damn, I was trying to act invisible.
Hey, I told you my class is full of people who are perfectionists. Of course, Sia and Tapiseng are done. Now they're even back in the main room chilling. No, but it's about 1 more minute and everybody will come back into the room. How was the exercise for you, Sia?
Hey, Coach H, why are you putting me on the spot, bro?
It's just you, me, and Sia, and Tambi saying yeah.
No, it was good. It was good. We shared some few things, and we might be able to help each other in the near future. Probably, yeah.
Nice.
This year, actually, because like Saying is really headstrong about her plan. She has like a direct what she wants to do, which is quite impressive. So yeah.
I love it. And Saying, how was it for you?
It was good. You know, sometimes when you have the plans and it's just you and your plan, when you verbalize it to someone else, it kind of makes it more realistic. And like you were saying, that you need to be accountable to somebody. So maybe Sia and I won't be in contact all the time, but because I know I've spoken to someone about it, that on its own somehow creates that, helps. So yeah, it was a valuable session. Thank you.
Awesome. We're doing well, guys. We're doing well at the time. I think the last part is just the doubt and everything that comes in. Yeah, because that's now the reality of where we live in. And then we'll be closing off. Magdalene, how was the session for you?
Sorry, Coach H. I've learned a lot from Portia. From Liseho. She took me through the issue of Toastmasters. So now I understand what Toastmasters is and how to join it, where to research for it. So she has given me more information about it. Nice. Portia and I also exchanged the digits. So we're going to be communicating a lot.
I told you, this space is for networking. I'm very happy to hear that.
Now I believe you.
Yeah. Juliet, the mic is yours. How was the session for you? Juliet Grace.
So the session was okay. I think I had the best partner. It's just that I'm multitasking. I was working from a cafe and my laptop was almost blacking out, so I had to run out to buy an adapter, go charge, and focus on this. But I had the best partner, and we've decided that we are going to connect and stay in touch so that we can help each other achieve our goals. Her goal is into public speaking and helping people realize themselves. And surprisingly, I do a lot of talking, so other feeling will help each other out with our goals to achieve them. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Juliet. So Jabulile, how was the session for you?
The session was really good for me. I got a lot of insights from my partner. We just ran out of time a little bit. But yeah, I think I will stay in contact with her because her goal is something interesting and I really want to hear more about it. But yeah, it was good. And and also I think talking about my milestone made it fill up the gaps that when I'm writing about it, I'm not really thinking, in depth, but saying it out loud sort of brings it into context. So yeah, it was good. Thanks.
Yes. Lovely. Tulile, how was the session for you?
The session was great. I met Chiwella and Bridget. And I love their goals because I can relate to their goals. And I think it helps to be able to verbalize to someone that this is my goal and this is how I plan to achieve it, and also to hear their input on what I can do differently or what I can add to the plan that I've already put in place. So yeah, that was very valuable for me.
Thank you for sharing. So we have two Lasejos in the building. Let me start with Lasejo K. How was the session for you? And then we'll go to Lasejo N.
It was very interesting. I got a plug out of it. Well, we'll be getting one to help me with reaching my goal. So my goal is joining the gym. So yeah, I've had a lot of excuses with why I don't want to or can't or won't, but I've run out and yeah, I've made steps to getting there. And yeah, my partner will be helping me get one step closer.
Nice one. Lasejo N.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
The session was amazing. We had a great time. Juliet did mention that she was multitasking while we're at it, and I was very understanding partner. She called me perfect. That made me blush. So I had a great one. And I am moving towards my goal. I'm moving towards my goal, which is coaching and speaking professionally, something that you've known of for a while now.
Yes.
And yeah, I host events as well, much like you. So should anybody be interested to join that, they can actually contact you. You'll let me know, or they can reach me to attend those as well. But this has been very, very helpful. I literally joined in about 20 minutes ago, but already I've gotten so much. It feels like I didn't lose out on the first hour. I'll watch the recording though to catch on.
I'm recording the session, as I said. Don't worry if you missed it, it's recorded. And thank you. Okay, Cynthia, and then Bridget, and then Chuela, and then we can go. So 30 seconds each. Cynthia, how's the session for you?
Great, really, really great. I loved it. I had an amazing partner. She broke it up for me really good. I apologize. I joined a little bit late, but at least with the few minutes that she spoke, I could clearly just get everything, and I jumped right into it. Yeah, we had limited time. I was seeing the break room closing, and I was like, wait, but okay, it's fine. We'll find more time. Thank you for this platform, and I'm looking forward to more sessions.
Nice one. And Bridget?
Hi, we didn't have enough time, but I did hear Chiwela and I forgot her name, sorry, but what they were talking about is very specific and I related to it. And I also want those contacts, by the way, for the person to help Chiwela, just so we are together. Thank you.
Chuela, please close us off. Thank you, Bridget.
Mine was great. I mean, I found Tulile actually helped me, and she's linking me up with a dietitian who can help me with one of my goals of trying to eat a bit healthier, but eating for my diet and my age and all the things that are currently not good in my body. So that was very, very, very helpful because I'd been thinking about how am I going to do this. So she helped me, and I think it was a good session. We did run out of time to listen to Bridget, but overall it was really good.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for participating. And as you see, the goal of that exercise was to basically everything you have shared. So you find out, oh my God, this is what I've been thinking. And saying it is honestly the first step to committing to your goals, because now you've said it, now it's in the air. Now you've said it to someone, now you're like, oh my God, I'm not just disappointing myself. I'm also probably going to disappoint this person. But this is the whole essence of accountability, because it's very easy to say, I thought of something in my head, and since it was never written down or verbally spoken out, it's easy to just push that deadline and push it off. But I like this concept of even networking and exchanging, because that is what I'm really about in my coaching services, in the programs that I provide, because in reality, we're human beings. And sometimes we just need a little bit of support for us to continue doing what it is that we need to do to get to where it is that we're trying to go. Cool. So I've changed things up just a little bit. This final part is what I think is going to hold us down for the whole session. We've been writing things. We've been spending a lot of time in Alice in Wonderland, Lala, happiness. But I want us to take a little bit of time to think about the things that stop us from achieving our goals. I would have traditionally put us into breakout rooms. I'm thinking right now I might into smaller breakout rooms, well, bigger ones, less and bigger ones. But I want us to think about what stops us, because you'll come out of this, you guys have shared, everything is sounding nice and happy. You'll come out of this session probably knowing exactly where it is that you want to go. But we live in a world where life happens. And so what happens when life happens? Life happens is, I want us to think about these questions. What typically demotivates you? What typically demotivates you? As a recovering perfectionist, I know that immediately I start something and it's not going exactly how I planned, that is a very easy way for me to fall off track and say, if it's not what I planned for, then I'm not doing it. And that is something I have to unlearn and say, be okay with failing on learning, be okay with progress over perfection, right? So when I'm successful, what do I do? Do I reward myself when I've just reached that 15-minute, that small milestone, the 15-minute one? Do I pat myself on the back? Do I acknowledge what I've done? Or I don't even make room to celebrate, right? So I think it's really good for us to know who encourages us in our lives. Some of the connections you've made today, you know, these are people who are also focused on their own goals. So maybe, yes, these are the type of people you should be networking with, because we'll come from spaces where somebody will be telling you, like, I want to be a millionaire. And then they say, you can't even do this. And you know, those are the type of words that put you down. Those are the type of things that keep you from getting up, you know? So think about those stuff. I'm going to put you in a group, right? Last group, it's only going to be, you see the time run out, it's going to be quick. So when I say 30 seconds, everybody goes and says, recognize what is one thing that puts you down and how are you going to overcome it? What is one thing that usually stops you from going for your goals and how are you going to overcome it? Remember, progress over perfection. Does it sound good? I need thumbs ups. I need thumbs ups. I need thumbs ups to see if we are on the same page. Heart, nice. Okay, let's go. All right, ladies. We don't have a long time, so who's going to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay. The one thing that really stops me is wanting to be a pro when I know I need to be a beginner. So the thought of that, I need to work all the way there, and I'm not going to be a pro in the first round, puts me off.
Are you ladies not assigned to rooms? Sia, please join room 2, I think, and Bridget, please join room 1. You guys have been assigned to rooms. Sia, Bridget.
How do I do that again?
Is there something asking you to go into a room?
No.
No?
No. But Orisia, it's fine. I have to get off now.
Okay.
I have to actually join something else now.
Okay. No worries.
I'm very sad to leave.
I've
Absolutely
recorded
sad
the
to leave.
session. Don't worry. You'll get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is actually great.
Cheers, and thank
I'm
you for
sad. Bye.
Bye-bye.
That sometimes happens. But I think my biggest thing is that I make like 2 bigger goals instead of just honing it and making it small steps and small goals. And I think that's the biggest lesson that I took from the workshop, is that, you know, when you don't have a clear way of navigating a bigger goal, then you
Yeah, Elliot.
Yeah, though I have not followed up with the topic, but I think it's all about what makes someone achieve something, right?
Elliot just joined us, so maybe has everyone else gotten a chance to go?
Yeah.
Cynthia, Chuela, Magdalene, you've all gone?
Yes, yes.
Yep. Oh, okay. Hi, Eliud. Welcome to the session. Everyone has had a chance to share. We've been working on what are our big dreams. We've been breaking them down and seeing what are some small milestones that can get us closer to there. So for you, we'd like to share what's happening in the room right now is sharing what typically stops you from showing up for yourself. What is something that discourages you to come up and really achieve your goals? You can share that, and then we'll meet in the main room in a little bit.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, yeah, first
Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, so I'm going to choose one person, guys in your rooms, choose one person who was in your room to share one thing that stops you from showing up and how you are going to work around that. Let's start with people who were in room 1, that is Juliette, Lesahoke, and Tulila's room. One person to share what is it that stops you from showing up, like an insight, and how you're going to conquer that. Ladies.
I'll go.
Okay.
So I think the one thing amongst us is procrastination. That stops us from doing anything. And then how we able to conquer that is to do a to-do list so that we keep track of our productivity and avoid the mental notes. Then we don't see what I've done. So whatever's not ticked off, we make time for it the next day or another time. But at least we can see the productivity from the things we've ticked off from the to-do list.
Lovely. To-do list is one of my favorite tools to stay accountable. It is actually what helps me do everything that I've been able to do in my life so far. I'm going to see if I can, here's a notebook. I don't know if you guys can see that. And the thing about to-do list is to literally write it down, not just as a general to-do list. Everything you've learned in the session today is to really break it down. So if I have to email guests with info, that is an activity that I have to do. If I have to book a session with MC, if I have to send a photo, this was my wedding to-do list. You can't tell, but I tick every single thing once I'm done. I don't know if you can see, but that's a really good tool. So thank you for sharing. The group from room 2, Jabulile Leseho and Tabiseng Sia. One person to go real quick.
I don't know if anybody else unmuted, but I can go. So we had obviously not enough time, like every other session that we've had in the breakout rooms, but we had a great session. We got together and we couldn't go through our solutions as yet, but we did manage to break down our obstacles. And we did agree that we should probably all leave our contacts in the chat box so we're able to reach out to each other outside of the sessions so we can assist each other in whatever way possible. But it was a great session nonetheless. And my biggest obstacle is time management. So that's something I'm working very hard at.
Nice one. Thank you for sharing. And this whole concept of having a community and accountability group, I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about that as well, because that is how we can support each other. And finally, the group from Cynthia, Eliud, Magdalene, and Chiwella. Somebody, let's go with Cynthia.
Yeah, so we agreed on the imperfection point, but also fear of, I'm not sure if incompetence is the right word, but fear of like not achieving it gets you to have like problems with confidence. So we thought associating strong and emotional reasons with the milestones that we want to achieve will be a driving force that will help us to overcome that, and basically working on it, just putting effort and working on it is going to help us overcome this demotivations that we experience.
Thank you, Cynthia. And this is where we're at, progress over perfection. Every single time, this line has helped me get through so much self-doubt in my life. And don't be afraid of being a beginner, right? So something happens, it's stopping you, somebody said something, take time to acknowledge them. Look at that in comparison with the goals that you have and where it is that you're trying to go. And then say, how can I work on this? How can I work on this to make sure that these things are not coming in the way? How can I break it down to a smaller bite-sized goal that I can achieve better without being stressed out? So that's the reason why I wanted us to do that. And to end that session, I want to emphasize on the concept of rewards. So always think of what the reward and the end result will be once you reach a milestone, and acknowledge it and celebrate it in whichever way that works for you. Some of my favorite rewards that I like to say is eat some ice cream, if that's your kind of thing. Go for a walk, book a trip, if that's the way you're trying to ball out on us. Watch a Netflix episode. Whatever it is that makes you happy, use that to motivate you to continuously push through your milestones that you have planned out with your goals. So don't just be a dull boy. I'm all about celebrations. I'm all about showing up for yourself and acknowledging it. And it gives you that psych, that energy to say, yes, I can definitely do part 2 and continue going. Okay, guys, we've come to the end of our session, and it's at this point that a lot of people typically ask, how do you work? How do I work with you? What is it that you offer? Here's this workshop that we've gone through today. And I like that you guys are saying, okay, there's things like, how can we keep in touch and in contact? And there is a saying by Dr. Maxwell Maltz, right? It takes 21 days to create a habit. That is a quote all of us know. It takes 21 days to create a habit, but it actually needs 90 days for us to make it a part of our lifestyle. And that is the whole thing that I'm about, Coach H. When you hear she's an accountability coach, a courage builder, an accountability master, these are the things that I try to say, because once you start building that consistency muscle, if you see Oyosia working out, what is making her get up every morning? What is making her do this thing? It's hard. There are days I just want to sleep, but I think of the reward at the end. I think of the big goal, the big picture, and I see how really what is 15 or 20 minutes going to mean to me today. And so on that, right, there is some offers. There are three main ways that I am here and you are able to work with me, and how we can transform those habits into a lifestyle. The thing that I wanted to use was the 90-day rule. So 21 days in a month, what happens is that, okay, you're excited, you're pushing, but I want us to have used the goals that we are writing and have a proper check-in at the end of April, the first quarter. How can we support each other? What are these numbers that we're moving? What is this that we're doing? And so the main one is one-on-one coaching. I only have 6 spots available for this and for the clients. But what it is a 12-week program, and there's 6 live sessions. So here we've heard people talking about their goals, and sometimes those things are so personal to you. But when you're in a one-on-one session, then you get direct access to me 24 hours. Personalized is the key word here, motivational content. So sometimes I hear what you're saying, and I know there's a certain podcast you can listen to, there's a certain Instagram page you should be watching, there's something you should be doing. And I do that with you while we're setting our goals together, monitoring and tracking. Right. And then the second thing is the support group, which is very similar to the workshop that we've had today. So it's in a group setting, and we get to really say, okay, what are our goals? We've talked about them here together. And what we'll do is that I'll have live sessions like this and midweek check-ins. Because as I said, the reality is that you forget. Right now, you're so pumped up and you're so happy, but you forget, or some things, life starts to step in and pushing us all out of order. And so this is for you. If you are okay, you feel you're very independent, you can do a lot of your goals, but once in a while you want to come into a space where there's a support group and you can talk to people, share your goals, and even hear from each other some sort of input that can take you to that next level. The final one is the fitness accountability group. A lot of you have been members of that before. This is specialized for fitness, and the primary fitness activity that I work with is yoga. And what I do is that I provide for you a calendar, and with 3 to 4 workouts in a week. And in that group, it's on WhatsApp, you are supposed to check in, and that's the accountability element of it. So you have to say, yes, I've signed up for this thing, but what else do you do is that you're able to come and check in, and you see other people checking in. So those days you're lazy, you're like, yeah, I can't believe Lasaho got up and did it. And it serves as a form of motivation for you to come in. So what the prices that you're seeing in here, they're 3-month prices. So don't be alarmed. It's not for a month. It's something that you would pay over 3 months. And because you guys are so awesome and came into the workshop today, I have a 10% offer for each and everyone who was here today. So if you can see, the prices have gone down by so much more. And this is what you would be investing for a month. So this is what it looks like in a one-on-one session. For the one-on-one, you get 2 sessions a month with me, and you pay 1,170. It's 50 minutes long. And I've put the Kenyan values in there as well, and the US values for the people who are international. For the support group, same thing for you. So you get this access to the session. It's 450, and this is your way. Payment for me has been one of the other ways to stay accountable to my goal. So for example, I had a CV that I had to do. I know I can work on my own CV and do it, but I went and paid someone to do it and they didn't do an awesome job. That's a whole other story. But it made me sit down and look at that CV because I had to send her details. And so sometimes you just need that support group, support space to say, true, what is it that I'm doing and how am I going to show up? And so for the fitness accountability as well, that's one of my signature programs. That is what I'm known for. I love it. I create these workouts, thinking about the different parts of our bodies that we want to work out, the different types of activities. And so it kind of helps you to be able to check in. Thing is, you cannot just commit to a 1 month. As I said, it's the 2190 rule. So if you look at the first figures that we had with a 10% offer, then you are looking at these amounts for the month, for 3 months. So this is the type of investment you will be making to say, okay, how can I show up for myself and make sure that these things work for me? Because the month is over, this is a strategic workshop where I placed it at the end of January so that people with all your January drama, you can just relax. I kind of consider February the first official month of the year because you've had the time to rest in December, recuperate in January, see where you're going, and then you come back into February. Now you have your goals set, you've broken them down, you know how to break a goal down, you know what typically stops you. So you're going into your month super equipped. And then I come in as your support partner, your accountability partner, your accountability coach in whichever one of these programs. So there it is. We have 5 minutes left. And at this point, right, I would like for you guys to fill in a little survey that a little poll that I'm going to put up here. I want to hear your feedback on the session today. And in that feedback, you're also going to tell me which of the programs do you feel works for you, right? So it's a little poll that's going to show up on the Zoom page. And if you are thinking you still want to hang out with Coach H, find out what it is that she does, what are some of the stuff that she has in terms of resources. You know, there's, as I said, there's different types of podcasts that help keep us motivated. There's a bi-weekly club that I run on Clubhouse called African Boss Babes. So you get to hear me speak on different topics and just guide us and get us motivated in a cool and relaxed way. There's the weekly Dose of H newsletter that I send out on email. And I just share things from my personal life and my lessons, and I use it as motivation for the community that we are building. Same thing with social media. So I know a lot of you found me on social media because that's where that is where I advertised this program. And so I know you're already connected with me, but just stay in the community because there's always different types of stuff you want to do. And we can start creating these habits and turning them into a lifestyle. All right, so let's go into the poll real quick. All right. And I'm going to activate it. I want to know if all of you can see it. Please unmute your mic just to let me know if you can all see the workshop feedback form from your side.
Yes.
Awesome. So please help me answer these questions. They're going to really help me improve my offerings, find out what you guys liked, which program are you interested in, you know, what would have made your experience better? What was your biggest takeaway? Please, 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 this is your turn to give back to Coach H, but I really would love to hear from you as we are closing off the session. If anyone has any questions while they're doing this that are directed to me and what I've just spoken about, please feel free to unmute and ask. A lot of people are asking if this session is recorded. I streamed it live on Facebook and I've also recorded it on here. I'm going to upload it on YouTube for anybody who wants to. I'll also be sharing an email with the slides, the prompting questions that we were asking, and also the last offers that I've just spoken about. So you can expect that from me this week. What I'd like to say as well is to just thank you for taking these 2 beautiful hours out of your Sunday. I know that that is such a big ask, but I also know that that means you are super dedicated to the goals that you have in your life and you are willing to do whatever it takes to get there. So I would like to say that I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much. Always remember progress over perfection. Know how to silence that doubt. Ask yourself, am I being consistent? How am I applying the character and the element of discipline in my life? What happens when I don't want to do something? How am I still going to show up? Can I find a different time to do it? Can I silence my emotions for a bit and really show up for my goals? Those are the questions that I want you to be thinking and talking to yourself and wondering, who am I really? And who am I trying to be? And how am I showing up for myself? Thank you so much. I am Coach H. This has been lovely. All right, I see all of the participations coming in. It's 9 out of 11, a few more to go. I'm waiting for your responses. I really, really appreciate your feedback. And then the mic is on. We have exactly 1 minute to the end of the workshop. I'd like for you guys to give me any type of verbal feedback. One word to describe your experience today. Start with you, Lasaho. Okay.
Well, I feel like I've been put on the spot. But
It's not bad. One word, just one word. No pressure, one word.
One word would be informative. I'll say informative. Yeah.
Thank you. Over to you, Cynthia. Cynthia, one word. And up next after Cynthia is Eliud. What is happening? Eliud, one word from you. You have to unmute. I can see on the chat, Juliet said, thank you for the platform and the opportunity to learn. Thank you, Juliet, for coming. Jabulile, mic is yours.
One word, encouraging and informative.
Encouraging and informative. No worries. Thank you, Jabulile, and thank you for being here with us today. Let's go to you, Lasaho N.
Insightful.
Insightful. Ooh, English, the dictionary. Magdalene. One word from you.
She took my word.
Insightful
and motivational.
And motivational. Thank you. Ntabi Singh?
I think for me also insightful and encouraging. Yeah.
Insightful and encouraging. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Ntabi Singh. Tulile?
My one word is valuable.
Valuable. Yes, it's
Yes.
starting to become a an English class. Chuela?
Enlightening.
Enlightening. Ooh, we have learned so many synonyms of awesome, but that feedback means a lot to me. Thank you to everyone who's participated on the poll. Cynthia says she's sorry she can't speak, but thank you. She found it informative and encouraging. She is pumped. All right, we are 2 minutes over time. I appreciate it. Please go and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Asante sana, Dori Bua, Giabonga. Have a good one. Cheers. I'll be closing the meeting. Workshop. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.